Hi everybody, Vrangin Gamer here, and we are back with our Danelaw playthrough. It's Crusader Kings 3, and I've been away for a few days, so interrupted my video posting. I had a load of videos ready to go, thinking I will post them whilst I'm on holiday. The place we were staying had pretty decent Wi-Fi. But I didn't take into account that the upload speed might not be as good as the download speed. So whilst we could stream Netflix and other streaming services, I couldn't get videos uploaded. So I should have planned ahead and scheduled them all whilst I was still at home. But never mind. So some of those that I prepared went up this week, last week. And so it's been a while since I've actually done a recording, so I need to get reacquainted as to where we are with our Danelaw. We obviously started off. Who did we start off as? Halfdan, of course, it was Halfdan, the white shirt, and we are now Sigfrid, his son. The Danelaw's established. We have a peace with England. And we have a hostage. Well, would he be? Is he a hostage? Is he listed? We have a hostage. Athelstan, Alfred's son, is our hostage in the nicest possible way. We're just looking after him and showing him the benefits of a Norse education as opposed to an Anglo-Saxon one. I think we captured the last part of Lancaster in the last video, and there may be, yeah, okay, so we have all our 3 duchies in their entirety. Obviously we would like to expand, but we won't be doing that against England. We have a truce against Powys, so we can't do a great deal there, and we are allied on our north and south east borders with Ivar the Boneless, who's still only 41 years old. We'll pin him because when he dies his kingdom may split into a few smaller duchies, so we'll keep an eye on that, but he might be around for a good 20 odd years yet, who knows. One of the things we've been doing is trying to promote the Norse culture in the Danelaw, and I think we've got the North Riding converted to Norse. Obviously the rest are Anglo-Saxon and a little bit of Cumbrian, and it's, do we continue to convert our population to Norse, or do we think about hybridization with the Anglo-Saxons, or diverging completely? I'm not sure if we can hybridize at the moment. There's no option here to hybridize the culture. Would it be somewhere else? Yeah, I can't see it. So that might be because we don't have enough cultural acceptance between the Norse and the Anglo-Saxons. In fact, we've been trying to promote the Norse and suppress the Anglo-Saxons. So that might be tricky at the moment unless we change our councillor, our steward. He is promoting the culture, Norse culture in East Riding. Whether we use promote cultural acceptance, and I think that would start working us towards potentially hybridizing our cultures. Obviously, if we diverged, that's an option that we could go for. Well, I'm assuming it will cost prestige, but that is something that we could potentially do. It's suggesting that we would be the Danelaw culture. We would have to change. Do we have to change a cultural pillar and a tradition? Or if we, for example, I'm not going to do this, change from performative honour to castle keepers. Yeah, so we still need to change a cultural pillar as well. And at the moment, we've got a bellicose pillar. And that does help us with our land, what's the word? Our ambitions to expand our borders. Let's put it in that way. I mean, basically, we act like thugs and take land off fellow landowners. Yeah, the stoic one could also be useful. But at the moment, so I'm going to leave it at the moment, but this is definitely something that I'm considering. And we shall see. After we've perhaps done a lot more expansion, we may turn our minds to more cultural issues. So, a quick cup of tea. We could raise a runestone. I imagine that is because we recently won a war. We won the Battle of Northwich. And this is our current situation. Yeah, court position. Okay, counter control we are working on. So we could declare wars. We could declare war on Strathclyde. We don't currently have a land border with Strathclyde. We could look across the North Sea. Sorry, the Irish Sea. To Ulster. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze any minute. So if I hit mute, yeah, you know what's happening. We could designate a guardian for our daughter, Ragnhilda. So we shall do that, of course. She is bossy, so a martial and stewardship. She's currently a stewardship education, and the stewardship is high. So yeah, well, we don't have particularly. We don't have particularly good courtiers or knights. That looks the best one at the moment, I think. So he can be her guardian. Okay, the election. Who is currently? Yeah, our player heir is our brother, and that is because I think we only have. Yeah, we only have daughters. We have a young queen. We have a young queen. I was going to say we may have had a concubine. Oh, we do. There we go. We've got an even younger concubine. Crikey. So there are possibilities for sons. One of the reasons why the election score is probably against her is because she's a woman. She's a child too. So yeah, unless we have a son and unless she grows up quickly and stops being a woman, a bit difficult, we might be in trouble when it comes to succession. But, well, that's the way it goes. I'm not going to over manipulate things too much. Let's unpause. Hospitality. The more I study the noble art of statecraft, the more I realise how beneficial good relations with my neighbours are. I ought to have one of them visit my court so I can show them how good a friend I can be. But who should I invite? Who are our neighbours that we could invite? Well, we've just fought a war against Prince Merfyn ap Rhodri of Powys. So I don't think we're going to be inviting him. So there's an Earl within the English court of the Earl of Leicestershire, and another Earl, the Earl of Worcestershire. Yeah, to be fair, I am gregarious, so it's something that he would probably do. Well, Leicestershire has a border, so why not the Earl Oswald of Leicestershire? We will invite you. And he's accepted. Alof, put the servants to work. We have a visitor on his way, and we're going to treat him with respect, and we're going to look after him. We are not going to do any murdery activities. The serene Earl Oswald is finally here. Tonight we will have a feast to welcome our foreign guests. My wife Alof has been hard at work with all the planning and preparations. She has asked me if I have any suggestions for the final touches. How about a few specialties from Leicestershire? That's going to be something like, and this only applies to probably who will know what I'm on about if you're in England, Scotland perhaps as well, pork pies. Pork pies are from Leicestershire. Definitely pork pie. It should be extravagant, more of everything. Or I will not risk any last minute changes. Well, this looks a bit 50-50. But yeah, we should be extravagant. More of everything. The court visit progresses well. Excellent. Okay. Exercise or relaxation. If the sky is to be trusted, it seems like we will have lovely weather today. I have an excellent opportunity to show my guest, Earl Oswald, the beauty of the local country. I wonder if he would like a vigorous hunting trip, or perhaps a leisurely luncheon in the sun. A leisurely luncheon. It doesn't appear to give any indication as to which is most likely to work well. I mean, look at these guys. Look at him. Look at him. Do you think they like leisurely luncheons? Obviously, I've just been extolling the virtues of pork pie, but that's the beauty of a pork pie. It's meat wrapped in pastry. You can take it with you on a hunt. So, yes, a hunting trip. We don't sit around and have luncheon. Definitely not. He enjoys the hunt. Of course he did. I knew he would. He had that look to him. An odd request. Your concubine is a fine woman, Earl Oswald says, while ponderously swirling his cup of wine. His eyes are set on, oh my gosh, Bjorthfled, who is seated further down the table. My dear King Sigfrid, do I have your permission to arrange a private audience? Nothing untoward, of course, just a simple dinner in my chambers. I think that's overstepping the mark a little bit. I mean, you're drinking my wine, or my ale, you're eating my pork pie that we brought from yours, and now you want to have... It's just not going to happen. Allow it, but secretly listening. No. Yeah, I'm sorry, I do not think it would be appropriate. That's just a cheeky request. Merriment or reverence? I would like to show my guest Earl Oswald the cultural highlights of the Danelaw. My question is, would he prefer a grand dance with all the lords and ladies of the court, or a visit to our finest temple? I bet he is a fine dancer. I mean, looks can be deceiving, but he doesn't look like a dancer. I mean, I imagine, yeah, he's, iconoclast. I was going to say he'd be Catholic. But he follows the false Christ god, We should perhaps take him to our temple, and he may awaken to the true path. Oh, he didn't. No, he didn't like it. He had a dreadful time. He really wanted to go to the dance. Nosewise, the troublemaker. My brother Prince Ragnar approaches me, rage in his eyes and dog in his hand, dragged along by the scruff of his neck. Hey, steady. As he reaches me, I see that it's my dear Nosewise he is holding. I found this beast amongst my things. What wasn't chewed to bits was covered in excrement. God. I'll compensate you, or she's just a dog. Come on, brother. She's just a dog. I don't think everything was covered in excrement. You're exaggerating. Petals and thorns. During our walk through the gardens, Earl Oswald and I have paused to admire the view. The proportions, the colours. I have seen few things as beautiful as this. King Sigfrid, he says, and gestures at the sight before us. I feel as if I ought to say something kind in return. Perhaps something about his warmth and kindness? If we have a high diplomacy skill. What are we? Oh, we have a high diplomacy skill. Okay. Or his relentless courage. Or it's all about how his diplomacy. Okay, so we will have a look at his. He's stubborn, forgiving, and trusting. Forgiving nature, then, perhaps. Yeah, your forgiving nature. Of course, it's well received. It was well intentioned. This is a. I wasn't expecting to stay so long. Oh no, here we go. An early departure. The sun has barely risen when I notice one of Earl Oswald's servants carrying a large chest. I follow the man to the courtyard where I find my guest overseeing the loading of his carriages. Was he just going to go? Oswald startles when I greet him and proceeds to make a vague excuse about a letter and some urgent business. He's just going. He wasn't going to say bye or anything. Awkwardly, I wish him a safe journey and scamper back to my private quarters. Ah, not how I imagine things to go. Well, that's weird. So, okay, so he lost 15 opinion of me. All in all, I'm not too bothered. Looks like he still likes me. Or is that before the 15 comes off? But really, out of those activities, nearly all of them went well. Was the temple that bad? You must be a very pious, iconoclastic Christian, maybe. Oh well, not how I imagine things to go. Okay, right. So before I hit, or I'll pause it before we restart. Where are we? So there's still 3 years, and I'd like to switch him to organising the army to see if I can get these levies back, or at least over halfway, because they've been malingeringly low for a long time. Although we really can't start any wars without breaking truces. So I'm wondering how much there is that we can do. Can we build anything? We can't upgrade anything there. We don't have the money for a grand temple. That would be good to build at some point. And yeah, I don't think we have the innovations to build any of these. We certainly don't have the gold at the moment. Okay, so not a lot there. What about in the West Riding? Again, no upgrades available. Derby, I think they would be coloured gold if we could. Okay, so we could probably build something here. Oh, we've got a special building, Offers Dyke, which it was a long ditch flanked by a wall of earth. Yeah, I think experts are now unsure as to whether it was a defensive structure or just something that kind of showed off how much it's like a prestige, a vanity project in a way, because it was just a long ditch and a wall of earth. It didn't really wouldn't really have stopped a determined army. But yeah, there we go. It gives us some advantage, so fair enough. So we can build something here. And I always do like farms and fields because, you know, 0.5 gold tax per month. So yes, we will construct that. Oh, that did wipe us out quite significantly, money-wise. So let's increase the speed a little because there's little we can do at the moment. A virtuoso performance. My friend Alfred is so talented. This is King Alfred. He's looking slightly pink there. He's scarred. He's a drunkard. Okay, so that'll be why. Yeah, he's got a very ruddy look. Yeah, so Alfred the Great or Alfred the Drunk. He's so talented. His mind as a scholar is truly immense and scarcely rivaled by any other in the realm. His grasp of matters philosophical and theological lets him debate on an even keel with the holiest and wisest of religious leaders, and I've yet to see him ever falter when faced with an issue of the mind. Even now I can hear him down the corridor, down the corridor? What's he doing? Where is he? Holding forth on an obscure subject with all the skill and ease of a master craftsman with decades of experience. Is he? Or is he just that drunk that he's just rambling away to himself, thinking that he's the best mind in the world? Really, everybody's just nodding along because he's the king of England. Perhaps I could ask him to give me some tips and tricks on that area of expertise. Teach me, Alfred. So we would potentially get +1 to learning. A big chance that he'd gain some opinion of us, or he could lose opinion and we would lose stress because we are gregarious. He's already a friend. Okay. I think I'm just as good as they are. Clearly not, if that learning challenge percentage goes. We are not anywhere near as clever as the old drunk fool. I'll never be at his level. Oh, don't put yourself down. So I think teach me, Alfred. There we go. I like that. Okay, what have we got? Oh, so oh, my woman gained the trait pregnant. Okay. Oh, a new claimant. Of all the buffoonery I've ever seen, in Mayor Alfgeir's inane efforts to improve my relations with my neighbours, my good-for-nothing Chancellor has officially acknowledged King Alfred's claim to the earldom of the West Riding. Good job he's a friend. Good job we've got a truce. I think Alfred probably sees it as his anyway, secretly. So, but still, come on, up your game a little bit. Up your game, pal. What was the other thing? Oh, there we go. Designate. Oh, for our hostage. Okay, we could designate a guardian for him. He's rowdy, martial and intrigue. Do we want to be helping him improve his martial standing? Now, do we do the honourable thing here and give him a good education, or do we deliberately try to sabotage his education to some degree? I'd be more tempted to send him down. Oh, it's martial intrigue. I don't really want him. We will do the honourable thing. I mean, we don't have particularly good martial rated characters anyway, so. Oh, look, he's Anglo-Saxon. He's one of our champions. How did that happen? Well, no, okay. No, because this is an opportunity. Okay. Think about it, Nick. So, Arixgoli, we could convert try to convert Athelstan's culture and faith to ours. That's better. There we go. We shall see how that goes. If we can't conquer England, we'll convert England. We are in line to inherit titles. Okay. Third in line for a lot of them, so not likely to happen, I don't think. Okay, well, things are quiet in the Danelaw. There's not really a great deal of building we can do. Unless we want to travel across the North Sea, there's not really any wars that we can take part in. Okay, so it's a hunt. We should take these times of peace and enjoy them. Of course we should. You are cordially invited to my hunt in the woodlands of Westmoreland. Together we shall make mighty sport of it. Signed, Jarl Ubbe Ragnarsson. So this is my uncle, yes. We have dangers. High danger in one location. Displeased peasants. Popular opinion is low. Oh, and the hills, that's the worst one, isn't it? So we will need a mountaineer. And mercenary guards are quite expensive, eh? I don't think we're crossing any wetlands or floodplains, are we? Plains, hills, forests. Yeah, perhaps a forest guide would remove that one as well. Still got that one, but we'll be alright, surely. There we go. Let's join the hunt. My uncle Jarl Ubbe is hosting a hunt in Westmoreland. Time has come for us to depart. I should be able to proudly represent House Hvitserk. This should be good sport if the event is properly organised. I can't wait. Travel, weird whispers. I've noticed that Arnsittel avoids me more than usual. He always sits at the opposite end of the table whenever we're invited to a feast, and constantly refuses my company while camping. Ungrateful so-and-so. We may not have the best relationships, but that attitude is starting to tire me, especially when I overhear him defaming me. Sigfrid is a hysterical knave. I'd be a way better king than him. What? You're just a... Yeah, Anglo-Saxon, low-born, decent fighter. I can't... we obviously won't go for a prowess challenge. We're angry with him, but not that angry to have a fight with him. Get out of my sight now. He'd leave court and potentially form a rivalry, or he's at the wind, I hear. So that's basically just trying to ignore it. We're not going to ignore that. Get out of my sight now. Yes. A wandering, dishonourable villain. So we lost a half-decent knight. Making camp. As we await the arrival of the rest of the guests, Jarl Ubbe. He's suddenly aged, hasn't he? Jarl Ubbe has started on the preparations. His gamekeepers check the woodlands each day for signs of quarry, while building a camp closer to the hunting grounds. I've checked my gear, my horse, many times. It won't be long now. Soon. We've got a lowish success chance. Okay. Oh, the child was not meant to be. My concubine assures me it's the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She doesn't like me. I forced her into this. I don't think... Well, she probably is upset, but she probably hates me. She's no longer pregnant. Okie dokie. pack of pests. The party is called to assemble as dawn breaks over the camp in the forest near Westmoreland. The local gamekeepers have scoured the vicinity for recent tracks and fumes. The pack is a nuisance, scavenging from farms and retreating deep into the forest. Ultimately, Jarl Ubba decides he wanted to hunt a wolf today. Middling peril, middling prestige. Let's get out there. Prince Ragnar found tracks just as my vassal started to dismount. I'll skip that name. Legs still dangling from the saddle, my audacious brother Prince Ragnar made sure to bump into his horse, sending him tumbling to the ground. Oh dear, you're acting like a child and you'll be punished like one. Taste of the belt. Yeah, we've been and looked at that one before. I feel very uncomfortable putting another man across and hitting him with a belt. This is no way for an earl to act. This is the diplomatic option, I believe. Or we are laughing at Gear has gone as red as a beet. No, this is no way for an earl to act. Sort yourself out. Cornering the wolf, surveying the forest, I suddenly see them as though they were there all along, the pack. The beasts bolt on our approach, howling the alarm as they retreat into the leafy bushes, fangs snarling. Jarl Ubba thinks for a moment before gesturing to the left. Come, we will cut it off. Let's go. Lying in wait. Our plans were for naught. The beasts sensed our trap by wind or connivance and refused to be led into our ambush by the flushers. At last it slipped their clutches entirely, disappearing into the forest. Clever thing. The hunt failed. Empty-handed. Everything that could go wrong seemed to do so, but there were silver linings to be found. I gather the disappointed party and exhausted hounds for the trip home. The wolf eluded us, this time. Let us leave this adventure behind. So we lost a bit of stress. I don't know how stressed we were. We gained some trait experience, some legitimacy, a decent amount of prestige. That sneeze is right there again. There we go, I knew it was coming. Okay. Back we go. Homeward bound. After a long day of travel, the horizon starts to bleed into warm colours. I take a moment to pause, close my eyes, breathe. Careful, my champion, Adalbart screams, pointing at the plains beyond the path we follow. What looks like a small rodent is running into the wild, and chasing after it, a brown figure I easily recognise. No, Nosewise, Adalbert, follow her. So she's running off after the small rodent. Nosewise is smarter than all of us. She'll find her way back. But this does give us stress because we're compassionate. I'll personally find you, my dear Nosewise. Not likely to find her, though. Quick, everyone after her. Pet search delay, we gain some stress. I mean, look, our marshal is another Christian in our court. What's going on? We need to potentially look at these and try and convert them. But yeah, he looks capable enough to find her. It doesn't take much to track the growling and broken twigs down to their origin. Nosewise sits over a leaf litter, licking her brown paws from the blood of her victim. Oh, the squirrel is almost unrecognisable next to her. Ha! I knew you'd be successful. Well done. We get an adventurous pet. Prowess +1. And we gain some stress because of compassionate, because of the squirrel. Well, this will be a native red squirrel as well, and we don't have any of those greys yet, so yeah. I will never take my eyes off you again. Oh, that little bit of stress would disappear. There we go. I am finally home. There's nothing better than relaxing back into the North Riding. That's not what it said at all, is it? There is nothing better than arriving back in the North Riding after a long journey. I look forward to resting for some time, but the call of the road beckons ever onward. We journey for 91 days and traverse 7 baronies. Thank Odin I can go inside again. Okay, so we have a few fighters, well, a notable guest anyway. Aki. He's Norse and a Sartru, so we'd 105 to recruit him to the court. He's a decent fighter, but Christ, that's a lot. I didn't mean to say Christ, I meant to say by Odin, that's a lot. So, where are we on our... we've still got 3 years before we can look at Powys again. Okay, let's hit the pause button. So we've got a diplomacy perk. We could use the force vassalization casus belli. Okay, that could come in handy. And we lost our diplomat, or our chancellor. So we have a few powerful vassals who expect, but we don't have, they're not very good, but then I think it's 15, but we don't have any penalties, so we're going to have penalties anyway. So should we... no, it's not him, was it? Was it the guy of Doncaster? But then he's not. Who's our chancellor that lost our, or that gave a claim to England on one of our counties, but he wasn't in a position to do so. Tain Gear can have the position. Okay, again, let's move it on quite quickly. A secret exposed. A secret truth has reached light today. My brother, Prince Sigfrid, has had an extramarital affair with his lover, Countess Eileen. How could he defile the sanctity of marriage? This crime cannot go unpunished. Or the accusations are naught but malice and lies. Are we likely to be forgiving? We are compassionate, but we're honest. Oh, do we? I mean, we have concubines. What's the sanctity of marriage? They're not malice and lies. Oh, maybe they weren't such lies after all. There's a child. Although there is no way to conclusively prove it. Yeah, can't be conclusively proved. My brother Prince Sigfrid has brought forward evidence that Kettle is not the son of my brother Prince Ragnar, but that he was fathered by none other than him. How could my own brother do this to us? Kettle, on the other hand, has no blame in this, yet his repercussions might be dire. I am lost for words. Oh, we could raise that runestone again. I guess that is due to the money that we now have. Okay. Yes, because I think we want the prestige, don't we? As me and my councillors are gathering for a meeting, my dog Nosewise approaches me with begging eyes and a drooping tail. She does not like to be left alone, but this is an important meeting. She will join me, because I did say I would never take my eyes off her again after she ran off. Every councillor loses 5 opinion. How can you? Having a dog at work improves everybody's motivational levels. She will join me. What to carve? Yes, my vanquished foe. And Cheshire would be a good place because it will increase the control growth. I am sorry, King Sigfrid, says my steward, Prince Gudfrid. I have to disagree with what you just... That was a good grr. Nosewhite gives a guttural growl and Prince Godfrey jerks back, looking from the dog to me and back. On second thought, I think it's a great deal. Such a good girl, Nosewhite. Yes. You will agree with my ideas or my dog will grr at you. Okay, we can designate another guardian for one of our children. She's charming, diplomacy and intrigue. Oh, yeah, intrigue. She could be useful. Torbjorn Gunnarsson. Look after my daughter and teach her the ways of intrigue. Okay, do we pardon our brother? Yes, we do. We grant pardon to our brother. Okay, so not an action-packed episode. But we were a little bit. Let's just wait. We were a little bit hampered with truces and who is on our border. I mean, our court grandeur is really low, but we don't have the money to kind of spend on that at the moment. We could see off these raiders. Why not? Let's just gather our army. Just there, perhaps. See these raiders off. They don't have any loot, so we can't take any loot from them, but we'll stop them taking any loot from us. Okie dokes. This should be fairly quick. There we go. Wipe the raiders out completely. You'll think again before coming to raid our lands. I'll draw this one to a close. Yeah, not a lot happened. We went on a hunt and not a lot happened. We didn't catch anything, didn't kill anything. I think the dog was the star of the show. Killed a squirrel and growled at one of my councillors. Hopefully, we're still 2 years away. Oh yes. Yeah, we're still 2 years away from being able to declare on Powys. Jarl Ivor is still feeling fine, so he's not going to go anywhere quickly. Which could, obviously, when he does pass away, and we are no longer allied to him, we may have options in this direction or that direction. So yes, it's good to be back. Sorry that not a lot happened. Hopefully the next episode might be a little bit more interesting, or there might be a few more things happening. So please do come back. Do give me a like or subscribe. Send me a comment if you have any ideas about the cultural hybridization or divergence. I know Epic Burrito has been giving me some tips on that, so thank you very much to them. Yeah, I'll see you again soon. Look after yourselves and cheers.